Now the next thing we've got to do, we're going to log in again. And our thumbnail, we want to be able to upload some thumbnails. Now, how are we going to do that? So we want to be able to just click on this, and it will basically, it'll go to our photo library, and it'll pick, we'll be able to pick an image. So the way we're going to do that is, so we want to be able to click on this and open the file browser. So how do we do that? We're going to use a great package for that. It's really simple, called React Native Image Picker. We're going to go, we don't need to look at this anymore. React Native Image Picker. There we go. Now we're going to install this. We're going to npm install. We're going to cd into our app. npm install. And we're not going to use this new architecture. We're not going to bother with that. Android, yeah, we don't need to do that. We're just going to not use the new architecture yet. We're just going to go npx pod install iOS. And just run that. Cool. Now this post-install stat, what do we have to do here? So this is really annoying. If you want to upload your app to the App Store and to the iOS App Store, and you're accessing images or videos, like if you're using the video camera, or accessing files from the Photos app, then you need to specify very clearly exactly why you're doing that. And for Android, doesn't require a camera. I don't think there's any issues with Android, but with iOS, you need to put a really good description in the info plist file. I'll show you how to do that in case anyone is curious. So we need to open up Xcode. And this will just take a second. Open a project or file. We need to find it. So YouTube, real-time chat, app, and then iOS. Open. And so this is the actual iOS project that is contained within your React Native project. So we need to go here, info plist, right here, and then we need to add a key here, and the key was NS photo library usage description, because we're not going to be worrying about capturing an image or video. We're just going to want to pick files from the phone's photo library. And so what was that? That was NS photo library usage description. So we need to add privacy photo library usage description, right there. Photo library usage description, yeah. And here we need to put a really good description as to why we need to use that feature. So we could say thumbnails from their profile pages. No, something like that. That's probably terrible, but this has to be set. Anyway, that's how you do that, and so we don't need Xcode anymore, and we should be able to use everything we need. So we can go back to our app, and our profile image, we're going to create a much better one, a much more, a profile image that we can click and we can open up. We can open up the Photo Library Explorer. we'll come up to the top. Our image. We're going to also add a little icon as well. So we can save that, and it should have changed nothing, but now we can click it. So we want to add a little edit icon as well. Style our view. Actually, first we'll see how that looks. So we can't really see anything, but we're going to put this, we're going to position this nicely. So first we'll give a background color. There we go. We're going to position this over this corner here. And to do that, we're going to position it absolutely. There we go. But we're going to have it on the bottom right. Bottom 0, right 0. So it's not what we want, and that's because we're get rid of this margin bottom. I want to take that away. There we go. It's kind of sitting nicely now. And we're going to put that margin bottom on our button instead. So we create a nice little gap, and we're going to put a border around this yellow, this dark little indicator. There we go. How nice does that look? Okay, and we're going to also click it. So when we click it, we want it to do something awesome. And that's going to be on press. We are going to create a function here, and we're going to launch. We're going to have to import we don't have the IntelliSense for what we want to import, so we're going to have to go here. We're going to just copy this. Launch camera. We're not going to launch camera. We don't care about that. Just launch image library, and we're going to pass a parameter. Actually, we'll get to that in a moment. That's for another. We'll just pass it an empty object for now, and then our response function that we expect to get. So response, we're just going to print out what we get from that. And this is going to be easy peasy. Good for now. So we'll save that, and then when we click promise rejection, what? It's going. We need to refresh because we did a pod install, so we need to rebuild our app. Silly us. So we go cd back into our root, make run, and that'll just take a few, maybe a minute or two. Alrighty, let's try doing that again. Yoo! So we're opening our photo library so we can select photo. So when we selected a photo there, look what it gave us back. Actually, we want to display that in a much better way. So instead of console.log, we're going to go utils.log. Make sure it's imported there. Save. I'll refresh it. Create a gap. Press again. I'll choose this one. And this is what we get. So we get an object that has an assets key. And then we have file size, height, the URI, which is the location on the device, no doubt. Well, this is the location on my computer. Okay. The file type, the file name, width, etc. So we're able to access an image, which is great. That's exactly what we want. But we don't want this. Like, we're not going to use any of this. We're actually going to grab the image in a base64 encoded form, and we're going to use that to upload, because we're not going to fetch the file, send a block. We're just going to send it using our WebSockets, which we're going to get to in a moment. Then to send data across, the stream to and from, the server and back to the phone, it's going to be a lot easier for us if we just encode that as essentially like a string, because we can only really send bytes or string. If we want to send data, we have to convert it into some sort of form that it will accept, essentially bytes or something like that. And so it's just going to be a lot easier for us if we send it as a base64 encoded string. And to do that, we can just pass an option here that says include base64 true. Include, and then save that. And when I pick again, you should see an additional parameter along here with the file size, height. There'll be another one that we get. So I'll click on that. Might need to refresh. Include base64. Include base64. Save that. Refresh, because it did not seem to work. Try again. Click here. Pick an image. Huh. It didn't work. Refresh. Pick an image. Huh. There seems to be a problem. Let's try again. Pick a different image. There we go. Okay. It didn't like the first image for some reason. I have no idea why. But that's okay, because we're not actually going to be using any of these images. Maybe this is a weird file type. I'm not sure. Anyway, the point is, see all this. Scroll all the way up. This is our base64 encoded image. Scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. Let's use this instead. There we go. Okay. So this is our base. Yeah, we've got a new key now. See, before we didn't. Now, so we've got file. That one's different. I'm really not sure what's going on with that first one, but we've got a base64 key here, and that contains all this data, which we are going to use when we upload our thumbnails. So we just need to keep that in mind for now. So basically, we can come here and we can guard against if the user response.did cancel, then we're going to return. So we don't want to continue if the user actually cancelled. But if they didn't, Then we're going to get the first file, because you can select multiple files, but we're just going to get whatever the first file is. We're going to go const file equals response dot assets, and then the first item there. And then we're just going to console.log. We're not going to log anything. We're gonna do the uploading soon enough. So we'll just leave this here for now, because we need to go and get some better images. We need to get some actual profile pictures. See here, these are just random. We don't want to use those. We want to use actual profile pictures. Now, the best way that I found to do this is within the simulator itself to go to a website. So I'm just going to close this app, and I'm going to go to Safari. Open up Safari. Within the simulator itself, I just found this to be the best way to do it. And I'm going to go to this. I'm going to just type this into Google, Unsplash free portrait. So there's an amazing site called Unsplash that provides like royalty-free, free for commercial use, everything. See, free for commercial use. Thumbnails. So we can use these thumbnails in our app for learning purposes, or for commercial purposes if you want. I mean, I'm using it in this tutorial, but you can. This is the easiest way to get the images that we need. So we're going to click on this link, and we're going to scroll through, and we're going to. So we're going to just hover over it. I'm using the mouse. Click down and go save to photos. Too easy. And then pop out of that, and then find another one. This guy. Hold that down. And I'll go, actually I'll click into it, click on it, here's the original, save to photos. And then I'll back out again. It's another really nice photo. Save to photos, back out again. This guy, super hipster. Save to photos. And we'll get about 6. So we've got 4 so far. This guy, unlock. See, we don't want to, this one's like behind sort of like a paywall sort of thing. We don't want that, we just want the free ones. That's sponsored. That's like an ad, I think. This guy looks alright. This one looks nice. And I think we have one more. One more should do it. Yeah, this guy. This guy looks alright. And then save to photos. Alright, easy peasy. And then now we're doing this inside the simulator so that we have files or photos inside the simulator, which is what we want, because we're going to upload from within our simulator here. And another thing we can do is we can just go to our Photos app. There we go. See, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got new thumbnail images on our simulator, which is great. So we'll close that, and then we'll come back over here, we'll go back to our real-time chat app, we'll click, and nice. Now we can select an image there, and see, there we go, it works. We get our, a full data. And we're going to print this out every time. We're going to, we've got that now. We're going to get to our, we're going to make our WebSocket now so that we can actually send this to the server and we can get a response from it, in real time. Like, we're going to use WebSocket so that, instead of HTTP requests, which we have to, we can't receive notifications from the server. At least we can't do that easily. This is going to allow us to, like, once we're logged in, all communication is going to take place via a WebSocket. We only use HTTP to authenticate the sort of normal way, which, where we use, web tokens and, JavaScript web tokens, all that sort of stuff. And we're also going to pass our token along with our request to create a WebSocket as well. We're going to have a secure WebSocket we're gonna have like a WebSocket that's behind like an authentication sort of layer, and if you fail to authenticate, then your WebSocket will fail to be open, and we're gonna get to all that sort of fun stuff now that we're at the point where we can actually provide some, we actually want to post something to the server now that isn't just a request. Now we can get started on our WebSocket. We're going to do that next.